Hello again and welcome back, maybe for some of you. If not, just welcome to our Eden Alternative live show on this beautiful Friday afternoon in October. We did have a beautiful show this morning with who we have right now is the Oaks at Hampton. And we talked to a lot of staff this morning. Our whole topic today is about empowerment. And what we're really saying is, you know what? You're not the boss of me. Or as they say in the South,
you ain't the boss of me.
That's right. You ain't the boss of me. They taught me that one. So just so excited to be here. I've worked with this organization. I love them. I love them. I love them. I said that 3 times. I sure did. Their heart is so true. I feel like part of their family through the screen. So imagine being there, working there, living there, being a family member. I just can't say enough about Oaks at Hampton, who are part of the Oaks Senior Living family. So this afternoon, we're very excited to hear from some of the people that live there, to talk about really how they have choice and how nobody's really the boss of them either. So I'm going to turn it over to the team here, who's going to kind of have a living room style conversation. And I will see you after you hear from their wonderful words and their stories. So Gail, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Hopefully some of you were on the show this morning. If not, I hope you'll go back and look at that. There's a history, we shared some history about our company and also about our Eden journey this morning. And I don't want to take up valuable time doing that again this afternoon because we want to hear from the important people. Not that we're not, but our residents.
They're more important.
This is their home. And I really, really want you to hear what they have to say. So without further ado, I'm going to ask Sandy to lead us through as we visit with our folks.
We've got Marjorie right here, and she was our first real live Eden story. Marjorie had a stroke and had another stroke and came back to the Oaks here on hospice to finish out her life. And she couldn't walk, she couldn't talk, couldn't do anything. Her family hadn't heard her talk in about 2 weeks. And the little one on her lap right there was a baby puppy at the time. And we brought him over and stuck him on her bed. And her first words in about 2 months were what, Margie? Sammy. Sammy. And Sammy and Margie have gone through therapy. She is back walking, talking, everything that could possibly do. They're inseparable. And although all day long, and although Sammy belongs to Megan,
She technically.
9 to 5, Margie owns it. Yep, 9 to 5. All right. Thank you, Margie.
Thank you, Miss Marjorie. Okay, next, Miss Martha Lester. I think she's going to talk for a minute about her experiences here and also some very important other folks that are involved with her.
I've been here since 6 months after the place opened. It's my home. It'll be my home. But about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, the staff came back from their, what do you call it? Retreat. Talking about Eden. Eden this, Eden that, Eden this. And after a few minutes, I said, wait a minute. They bring their kids in? They said, yeah. I said, we've done that. They bring pets in? Yeah. We do that too. They give complaints? Yeah. We've got a resident council. We have a food forum. If we have problems, their doors are always open to us. Chris, if you ever want to see Eden in progress, come to the Oaks and Hampton, because that's where we are. Where's Denham?
Right behind you.
Are the first two that I had to adopt. They were here, they were welcome, they would stay in my room. And since then, I have done 2 others, and Caitlin's little,
Here we go.
there he
Anyway.
is. He's the one that we're looking to say, let's go to our room. And he wants to go back to my room with me. Our room. It's a wonderful, I think the main thing Eden has done for us is to give us permission to do what these gals were already doing. Because they were treating us, there was nothing that, right, Ted? They're wonderful. The one thing too I want to say about Gail Lancaster, and she doesn't want us to talk about her. Gail has this knack for choosing people, and everybody that she's hired is perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Thank you.
So that's how big thing. I love this place. It's mine.
Thank you, Miss Martha. That was beautiful. You were being perfect. Okay, let's hear from our postmaster, Ted Brown.
Yes, my name is Ted Brown. I will be here soon, be here 8 years. I came the day that they first began accepting tenants with my wife. She lived 9 months, and we have several caregivers here now that waited on her and took care of her till she passed away and went to heaven. I stayed here because I sold my home, and this is my home now, and this is my family. And I feel like God has given me a special blessing to love people. I love people, and have since I was a young man. I can remember trying to help adult people when they would come to visit, get them some water or see that they were comfortable. And I've tried to lift the spirits of those that I meet here. It's a wonderful, wonderful staff. I think that we have the best staff of anybody in the state. And the caregivers, they are wonderful. I've had several problems since I've been here. I could never ask for better service, for better attention. And I try to thank them and everything that they do for me, because they are doing a wonderful job. And I love every one of them.
We love you too,
And
Ted.
I think that begins at the top, as we're speaking with the owners, with the staff here. They can't be beat. Even though we got one in the crowd that said I'm a troublemaker. It's really in fun, and it's really to get a good laugh. Thank you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Ted. Next to Ted, we have Helen. I'm sure you'll realize when Helen starts talking that she was born and bred in Georgia.
Amen.
Good day. My name is Helen Banner. I'm here 4 years. Where should I go?
No,
Come towards me.
Where you
Come towards
want
me.
me?
So you can see. There she is.
Oh, there I am.
Oh, good. I wanted to see your face. Okay, go ahead, Miss Helen.
I might be more than 2 minutes, though. I'm not from Georgia. New York, New Jersey, and Florida.
So is Chris.
So have I got any help here? No, but this was a big different entity for me, as all of you have the same problem. This wasn't what I planned on my resume, but I'm here 4 years, and I hope to goodness that God lets me remain here till I go to heaven if I get there. Ted has been a very good friend to me, and I've met some wonderful people. And the staff is, well, I can't begin to tell you how great they are for me. And I'll stay here as long as I can. And I do talk a lot, but, and he is a troublemaker, but I happen to wind up sitting at a table with only men. Well, hey, I talked to men all my life. I was in business with my husband. But they thought I was looking to get married. Okay, look at me again. Would I marry anybody here at the Oaks? But I'm happy here, and this is where you people have been great to me. I love the caregivers. They're my friends. I talk more to them because they talk more. Everybody here doesn't talk like I do. They say I have an accent. Come on. Do I have an accent? you all. I'm trying to practice that, but it doesn't come out properly. But my friends are we're happy here, and they've tried to give us everything that we possibly could get from the staff especially. I never asked for anything. I'm pretty independent, and I love the Oaks. And I guess if they'll keep me here and they don't dispossess me, I'll stay. So bless you all. And one other thing, I've changed a lot of my ways of thinking. I go to the church every Sunday, which I wasn't religious at all, but I love what they do for us there. They give you a certain peace that I've had to have in my lifetime, like all of you do. So be happy, because happiness is never bought by anybody. It's got to come from within your own soul. So I love you guys, and thank you again.
Thank you.
We also have a resident who is actually a certified Eden associate with us this afternoon. She's also the president of our resident council. So Miss Marion, she's one of the bosses. These are, if there are bosses here, it's the people that live here. But Miss Marion, you can speak
I
to
don't
that.
think anybody calls me a boss. I think I have a better nickname that I deny. But anyway, my name is Marion Hopkins. I have been here 10 months. I didn't, even though I had visited my sister who was here for, I think, 3 years before I came. I used to visit her until the COVID ran me out, and I thought I knew people here and what was going on from being that and working puzzles with them, calling the bingo and things like that. Yeah. And anyway, soon after I moved in here, I realized something's not quite right. And it took me a little while to sort of settle in. And thanks to these folks, especially Sandy and the other helpers that are close to you, to help me get started here. And pretty soon I felt very comfortable. They wouldn't let me call bingo anymore, though. But that's all right. Oh, but I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been so good.
Thank you, Marion.
Thank you, Miss Marion. And Miss Marion mentioned her sister, Miss Betty. She's still here too as well. There she is. There's Miss Betty right there. Say hi, Miss Betty.
Hi, Miss Betty.
Okay, so next, I think maybe Pete wants to say a few things.
Yeah, this is Pete, and Pete actually has a badge. Pete is our logistics coordinator, and I probably couldn't do my outings without Pete. He helps me on the bus, he helps hold the doors open, he helps pretty much everything. And Pete, tell him about you and Denham over here. What'd you do last week?
We went on this boat,
You went on a boat?
had a good time.
Mm-hmm. Did you behave?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
And Pete's family lived on the lake. And Pete, where you don't have any family here right now. Where did they move?
my cousins live here.
No, what about your brother?
He lives in Utah
Why didn't you go with them?
because you were here. And
Yeah.
So see, that we always say that the Oaks in Hampton is a lot like the Hotel California, the old Eagles song. You can check out, but you can never leave. There's a prime example. His brother and sister-in-law tried to get him to go with them to Utah, and he said, "Sorry, you're not the boss of me." You ain't the boss.
Hey, Denham, can you stand up and wave? I want them to see who we went fishing with. Stand up, my friend. There you go.
Pete, now, we talked about our wishes, and one of Pete's wishes was to go back out on the lake. his brother lived on the lake, and Pete always got to go to the lake. So this young man volunteered to take Pete out.
Yep,
They had a great time.
they did. Yep. And you can see pictures on our Facebook page of that fun
I want
trip.
those pictures.
They had a blast. Tiffany went as well. So.
Thank you.
And speaking of the Hotel California and checking out but never leaving, Miss Joanne Daniel is with us here today. She's all the way back here, and she probably is not quite as loud as Sandy and I are, but she was happy to join us today. Her beautiful mother, Miss Vivian, was with us. She was one of our charter residents too. We just lost her a couple of months ago at 102. And her daughter, Joanne, is still part of our family. She still volunteers here, helps us out with events and so forth. And I thought she might want to say a few words.
My mother had lived in probably 4 or 5 other assisted livings before coming here. When she died in August, she was 102, so she had traveled around a lot. But when she came here, she liked it, and she stayed. Most places she would stay 2 years, 3 years, and be ready to move on. She was not ready to move on from here. The word family, you hear a lot around here. This is my second family. I was supposed to be moving next week into active adult community, according to my real family. I decided yesterday I'm not going to do that. My next move, my next move when I'm ready for it will be to move in here.
Yay!
Not real soon, I don't think, but sometime. These are really my family members, residents and staff. And that's where I want to be when I get ready to move again. I'm not going to an active adult community. This is one right here. We don't get much more active than they are here. But it's a wonderful place to be.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you again. Next, we have Miss Bobby. Miss Bobby is a very special lady. She is a very spiritual lady, and she actually leads our Bible study, right, Sachi?
She does. She always carry her Bible in her walker, and I usually ask her to just lead the Bible to us. We sometimes the ladies go outside and have just a little ladies Bible study group, and we sing a hymn, and she is really great. And I think this is, we are giving her her purpose. And this is Miss Connie. That's her daughter. Maybe we want to say something.
Yeah. Mom was always teaching Sunday school second graders for years and years, and she loves the Lord and she loves the Bible, and it just comes like a natural expression. It is her purpose to share the Lord with people, and so she really beams on all the pictures. Sachi will send me a picture of her sitting there reading the Bible to everybody, and she just glows, right, Mom?
I enjoy it very much. It wouldn't be me without it. And I love the Lord. I have been a Christian since I was in my late teens, early teens, I guess it would be. At home, Mother led me to the Lord. And Dad came from a good home. And I'm thankful that the Lord did that, because He is so great and so wonderful. And I love Him so much.
And people will stop her and say, Miss Bobby, will you pray for me today? Over in the where they eat and everything, and she'll stop and she'll pray for them, and they'll just say thank you.
It's a joy. It's a joy to lead someone to the Lord. And I enjoy visiting here too. I wanted to put that in because we do come occasionally, quite often, and we enjoy the services that you all have too.
Thank you, Ms. Bobby. So one of the things that's important to us, of course, in addition to our care and the fun stuff that we do, the rewarding things that we do, the programming that Sandy and Sachi lead us in, also important is food. And of course, we have a lot of residents here. We have 2 neighborhoods, so it's hard to have everyone agree on everything that we eat, you can imagine. However, our kitchen staff, our dietary staff do an awesome job. So this is Ashley Flanagan,
Yeah.
and she is our sous chef in the kitchen. Choice is so important. She's going to tell you a little bit about something that they do with the residents every 2 weeks.
Yeah, we like doing a food forum meeting with the residents every 2 weeks, and it's just where we kind of like to gather and get their input about how the menus have been and how the food's actually been coming out of the kitchen, so that we can just kind of get a better idea of how they want us to cook their meals for them.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ashley.
Super job.
Yes, right. And speaking of food, we all wear different hats here, and part of the Oaks, I hate the word protocol, but something that we do is all of us do different things every month, and we engage with the residents in different ways. And next, I want to, Sammy. Next, I think that Megan, our business office manager, and Pitt, where's Pitt?
Yeah, come on.
Then we're going to tell you a little bit on the subject of food. Megs is going to share with you, and then Pitt, Jeff, is going to tell you something that he does with the residents. Megs?
Oh, hi, I'm Megan. Down in the South, we really love eating food. It's great. Miss Joanne that talked earlier, she's my go-to, and she's always bringing me desserts.
I'm bringing you recipes.
Recipes, excuse me.
Never fix them for you.
The only way I fix recipes is I tell her she has to join me and help me bake them, which will happen more often when she moves in with us. But I do enjoy baking for all of the residents. It makes me happy when they walk up to me and they're like, "Can you please bake us desserts?" And then I go into the kitchen and bother Ashley scrambling for food to bake a snack. That's all I got. I like baking. I enjoy baking for all the staff and the residents. It makes me smile when they're happy and wanting more food because I don't know. It's just fun.
And where do you work again, Megan?
I work here. I'm the business office manager up front. My mom's actually Sandy, the activity director.
We're family in many ways.
So it's all in the family. So wait a minute, you're the business office person and you're baking?
Yeah, it's great. So when I get tired of playing with numbers on my computer, I walk to the residents and I'm like, "Who's hungry?" And then I just go start making stuff.
I love it. Thank you, Megan.
You're welcome.
In fact, Chris, before Megan became our business office manager, because that happened, earlier today, if you remember, we talked about the fact that the other Megan, Bubba Megan, as we call her, pregnant Megan. So when she left the business office manager position because she wanted to return to Horizons and the role of wellness director, Megan assumed that job. But she'd been here just like a lot of us, many of us, and from the very beginning, she was our volunteer coordinator, and that's not a paid position. She volunteered her time here for years, and all during that time, she was baking treats and coming in and having cooking classes, doing that. So again, it's all family. During the pandemic, there were many challenges. We talked about that a little bit this morning, and I do hope everybody will watch that. But one of the things is for a long time, no one could come in as far as those that wanted to come in and help us with Bible studies or church service and that sort of thing. So there were some challenges there. So during that time, what we did was we started our own internal Bible study in AL as well as in Horizons, where Ms. Bobby does that. But over here in this AL neighborhood, our maintenance, safety, and security director, Jeff Pittman, who we lovingly call either Pitt or Pitsky, he started a Bible study on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The residents asked him to because they knew that he's a godly man, that he knew the scriptures, and they missed that. They had that void because it's not just about our physical well-being, it's about our spiritual and our mental and our emotional well-being as well. So I'm just going to ask him if he wants to say a few words about his Bible study.
It's something I enjoy. Like you say, it's sharing God's word is always special. As you can see, we have a very special culture. It's been established and it's thriving. We're all family members and we all love each other dearly. It's something very special, something that needs to take flight and spread all over. It's good. It's good for the residents. It's good for us. And it's just a joy to be here.
Thank you. Next we have.
I'm just going to point out now, what's your title again?
Maintenance and safety director.
Maintenance and safety, and you are leading Bible studies. Okay, world, out there, world, are you hearing this? Okay, I want the world to hear this. This is not one person's job about having life and living together. It's about community. You guys are amazing. All right, keep going.
Exactly. Next we have Miss Ruth. And I was talking to her earlier. I asked if she would like to say something, and I told her the subject was "You're not the boss of me." And she said, "Well, hey, nobody's the boss of me. I'm the boss of myself." And I said, "I know." I said, "Would you come and just and share that and anything else that you want to share with everyone?"
What can I say? Well, I feel like this is home. This is my home away from home. And everyone here that has a room in the building is here just like I am. And I consider us brothers and sisters in Christ. All who are believers, we're brothers and sisters. And that's the way I feel about my family here.
Ruth actually has a purpose that all of us know about. We have her friend Marianne, and Marianne has a little bit of dementia and probably couldn't do everything she did. But this lady here includes Marianne in everything. If they're going on a walk, if they're going to bingo,
we get on the bus.
You get on the bus, yeah. You got Marianne's back.
And they go cow hunting.
Yes, I try.
We do go cow hunting.
How do we know at what time this could be us?
One of the things we do that Ruth and I started during COVID again, we couldn't go out and we couldn't go on trips, and we got quite a few cow hunters here. Sammy, the little one on the floor right there, loves to find cows. And we started going on bus rides because we couldn't go any place else. We call the scenic drives. And it was January, February, and baby cows were getting born everywhere. Every field we went around, we saw baby cows. We saw one at about, 2 minutes old, and a couple days later, we saw a cow being born. And right there, yeah. And what's really been neat is then they tasked me to find out the answers. Is that a beef cow? Is that a milk cow? We have seen long-haired cows. We have a resident, Mary Bell, that went to Gail the first time that we went out looking at cows, and she's told Gail how ridiculous we were and how childish we were to be talking to a dog and looking at cows. Mary Bell now is an expert cow spotter, isn't she? Mary Bell scouts cows, and she has no problem with Sammy in the front seat looking for cows.
One thing about our cow looking, when my little boys were small, I would take them and drive them out. And it brought back such precious memories because my youngest son, John, worked for our governor for 19 years in tax revenue. And he used to look out and say, "Mommy, Mommy, look. Mommy, Mommy, look, a moo-moo cow." And I said it brought back such a precious memory for me.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so is there anyone else that wants to, looking around to see who else? Oh, Miss Ellen, do you have anything you want to say?
Only that I think that all the things that happen here that are so good, and we're all good friends. I mean, all the people are my friends. I think it's a trickle down type thing from the very top, from the management down to the actual residents. And it starts there, that they're good people
Thank you, Miss Ellen. And you know what? Miss Ellen makes a good point, and we talked a little bit about this morning, but I meant to say something that I didn't, and she just reminded me of that. It does stop at the top. I start at the top. We talked a little bit this morning about Alex and the family, his siblings, and that even though they're the owners, they're still very personally involved here and engaged. And I want to mention that they pop in anytime. If we're having an event, project, if they just want to say hi, sometimes Alex will come in, and ask if we need him to serve lunch or whatever. But that's very different than what you get in a lot of companies. And I think that really matters to us. We don't believe in closed doors around here. That's not who we are. And we found that works for us. Let's see here. Miss Eugenia. Somebody roll her.
Anyway,
Come towards me.
one thing,
She's going to roll you up so they can see you.
they don't,
Yeah, we gotta see you.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
sure is.
Oh, there you are. There you are. Okay.
that was a long way to come, say the short thing. But we're talking about doing what we want to do or how we want to do it. When they said we were gonna have our shots 2 at a time, and all the people say, you can do that, but I didn't think you should. So I said, I'm not, and I pitched a fit about it, and so they said, well, you can do them separate. Well, then I decided I'll look into this better. So I decided I'm gonna do them together. But they didn't make me do them together. I guess that's it. You just don't want to be made to do things sometimes.
That's a good point.
And but if you've got the choice yourself to make, you usually make it right, I guess. And I came to the end of the first year. I don't really remember what year that was. But the end of the first year is what gave me. And so I've been here a long time, and I wouldn't go anywhere else.
I don't think you could have summed that up better than what you just said. If someone is making me do something, I don't want to do it. Don't you make me do something. You're not the boss of me.
One of the worst things that you know is losing your independence. And when you think that you're really losing it, and somebody's going to yeah and tell you what to do, that is a very difficult situation for most of us. And so they probably end up getting us to do it. But it's our way, not their way.
Thank you, Miss Eugenia.
I'll try to roll out of this.
Okay, anyone else wanting to say anything? I see we've got the other Miss Helen back there, and we've got Miss Charlotte and Miss Dot. Y'all met Miss Betty a while ago. Is there anybody else that has something they want to share?
Talk about families, you got a mother and daughter back there.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Caitlin is actually Misty's daughter, and then Waylon, who we call Boogie, who was mentioned earlier, has always enjoyed coming and hanging out with Miss Martha. There he is. There he is. Yeah, we're very big on family here. Does anybody else have anything they want to say?
You ain't the boss of me.
That's right. So yeah, I think that's a good way to end. I think you probably got the sense, rightfully so, from our residents. Yep. That. Miss Ruth. Oh, okay. Miss Ruth wants to say one more thing. Okay. We're fixing it. No, we're going to close. So you go ahead and say something.
Okay. When I taught my little Sunday school class, I would look at the children and I'd say, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And you know why we're so happy? Because we can truthfully say that you ain't the boss of me.
Oh, I've so enjoyed today. I can't even say anything else to top that off. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the Eden Alternative Hearts world. I hope you heard that it doesn't have to be like it is. The Eden Alternative says it can be different, and you are living it, Oaks and Hamptons. I got goosebumps again. Thank you so much for today. I will talk to you soon, and we couldn't be more honored that you are part of the Eden Alternative family. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.